Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy, or Amy Louise. If you are new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really just helped me out. And yeah, today I am doing a 90s makeup look, like original 90s, not the modern day 90s makeup looks. There's been a little bit of a 90s boom at the minute. A lot of 90s shows are coming back, a lot of the 90s fashions coming back, and makeup's no different. Trends do kind of seem to recycle themselves, and I'm a 90s baby, and I've noticed a lot of things are kind of coming back, and recently, over the past couple of months, I've seen a lot of modern day 90s take on makeup. So I thought I would do a makeup tutorial as if it was the 90s, how makeup was done back then, from what I remember personally. Like I said, I was a 90s baby. I got into makeup in the 90s. I love 90s fashion, TV shows, music even. I just love it all, which I think goes with being a 90s baby. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm not talking skin prep because honestly skin prep for everyone, no matter when it was, is different. And from what I remember, skin prep really wasn't a thing. Moisturiser was a personal choice. SPF, if you was lucky. Yeah, primer just wasn't a thing. So I'm not going to go into that. That was very, it's hit or miss and not really a thing. So I'm just going to go in with clean skin and start from there. The first step was always foundation. It was never your brows, it was never your eyes, it wasn't, you know, anything that we do now. It was just straight in foundation. I remember it was always a squeezy tube, but I'm running low on squeezy tube foundations, and the only one I think I've got left, which hasn't got much in it, is I'm saving for Foundation Friday. So I'm just going to go in with any old foundation. This one is the MUA Pro Base. I have a video on this if you want to check it out. I'm just going to give it a quick shake.
Just because it has been sat for a little bit.
Okay, so the way I remember everyone doing their foundation was to just slap it straight on their hands and then on their face. So I'm just gonna take it on my hand. I'm just gonna
rub it in with our hands like this, almost like you're washing your face.
I don't have an issue with people using their hands for their foundation. I have done it myself. It's your fingers. Oh my god. Your fingers are a great tool for makeup. In general, it heats your products up. You can get different consistencies to work better with your fingers. Using a shimmer on your finger for your eyeshadow is beautiful. I blend out concealer with fingers quite a lot. I've not got an issue with people using their hands. But back in the day, beauty blenders was definitely not a thing. And if you had a foundation brush, it was this kind of brush where you would flick it. Although a lot of people don't flick, they kind of drag. And I'm not about that. But if you've got one of these foundation brushes and you want to make it work, you need to flick it like this, backwards and forwards, and like really quickly, just like, and that will work. Right, so after your foundation would be on, it'd just kind of like be there to like even your skin. It wasn't there to like conceal or anything. You would go in with a concealer. Now, I don't have any of the concealers that I had back in the day, but there was all like lipstick type form of concealer. It was literally in a lipstick colour. Don't have any, so I'm going to go in with my Fenty 145 Fenty concealer, And this goes on your blemishes. It does not go on your under eyes, just your blemishes. And there's nothing wrong with doing this. I know a lot of people still do this. If you watch Surf Does Life, she does this quite a lot, where she'll go in with a lighter foundation and then just spot conceal. Again, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just something that not a lot of people do nowadays. Like, contour was not a thing. It just wasn't. Powder, I don't really remember powders. I don't know if that was because of my age bracket or like it just wasn't a thing, but for my age bracket, face powder wasn't a thing. So I'm not going to go in with it. I'm going to go with bronzer. I'm just going to go in with my Morphe Glamour bronzer, and it was the tiniest amount, like barely anything, and only the people really into makeup would wear bronzer. From what I remember, it wasn't a massive thing, so I'm just literally gonna do it on my cheeks. I'm not gonna do like the norm of today.
So a little bit on the cheek.
And then blush. Blush was a thing in the 90s. It was definitely a thing in the 80s. If you look at like 80s drapings, like Boy George, draping was definitely a thing with blush. In the 90s, it was more of like a chill bat, like just got out of bed kind of thing. It wasn't really a thing. So I'm literally, this is the Beauty Bay Coral. I'm literally just going to tap in once, and the only place they would ever put blush was the apples of their cheek, which I'm not a fan of, but here we go. So I'm just going to pop it across the cheeks, and it was more for a look that you've been at the beach all day and you've caught the sun. It wasn't like to bring life to the skin or to sculpt or anything like that. It was literally just bring a little bit of that girl next door, I've just got out of bed, put my hair in a scrunchie, put my butterfly clips in and ran out the door kind of thing. That is literally your face done. This would literally be like a lot of girls, like everyday makeup, no brows, maybe a bit of mascara, no highlight, no contour, that was it. Maybe a gloss. But if it was a gloss, it was in a squeezy tube and it had glitter in it. A lot of glitter. So I'm going to go on to my eyes. There was no eye primer, so sorry P. Louise. You no. There was no eye primers at all. If you did put eyeshadow on, it was usually foundation and then you'd set it, and then eyeshadow, but that's more like 2000s to 2010s, not 90s from what I know. And you went one of two ways in the 90s. You either went dark and grungy, think maybe like TLC a little bit, or salt and pepper, like a little bit of a brown eyeshadow and mascara, and that was it. Or think Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, that kind of thing, and it'd more than likely be frosted blue on the lid, which is what we're going for today. I remember when I was a kid, me and my sister Rachel, we loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and my mum bought us the monthly subscription of the Sabrina the Teenage Witch magazine and makeup set. Every month you'd get a new magazine, and you'd get, the first one was this big purple silvery box, and you got makeup that would go in the box every month. It had a mirror in the lid, and we thought we was it. Now my sister even now isn't a massive makeup person, so I would often like get her makeup. She just wanted the magazine. But for me, I have been obsessed with makeup ever since. I love makeup so much, and the thing that I remember the most that I got in that little purple sparkly box was a roll-on eyeshadow. I got two. You got a blue one and a silver one. I absolutely wholeheartedly loved that eyeshadow. It was in this tiny little like clear bottle, and it had a roller, and you would roll it across your eyelid, and it was so cold. I don't know why it was cold, but it was freezing cold, and you would roll your eyeshadow on your lid, and it was sparkly, and it was just, it made my dreams come true. I absolutely loved the stuff, and I went through both of mine and my sister's. I loved it so much, and I've tried and tried and tried so hard to find roll-on eyeshadows. I can't find any anywhere. If anyone can find roll-on eyeshadows, please let me know, because not to use, but I just want it for like the nostalgia. It does something to me, honestly. I just want a roll-on eyeshadow to play with a little bit. Also, I'd probably do a video playing with roll-on eyeshadow. So instead, I'm just going to have to use a regular eyeshadow palette. I had to go through my palettes. It took me ages to find a palette that just had the kind of shadow that I wanted. I wanted this like really icy frosty blue, and the closest I could get was these up here. So these two on the ends, Umoja and Fazo, and this is the Juvia's Place, the Magic Mini palette. I love this palette. I love Juvia's Place, but it's literally just this shadow and this shadow, and maybe a little bit of this, but those are the shadows that scream 90s to me out of all the palettes that I've got. But it was more like a baby blue, like a frosted baby blue. Everything in the 90s was frosted. I don't know what to tell you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take Umoja. Is that how you say it? Yeah, Umoja. That's how I'm going to say it. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to do that. And this, again, this is how a lot of people would do their eyeshadow. Brushes were a thing, but not many people had them or used them. I think brushes were mainly for like makeup artists. So I'm just going to take it on my finger and I'm just going to run it right across my lid. No crease shade, nothing like that. We're not fancy. It's just like to get it on there, honestly. Like, there wasn't that bothered. And this would be like a going out look. This is like if you got an event, you would do this. So I'm just rubbing it on. I'm not too bothered about if it goes above my crease or if it doesn't. I just want it to go right across my lid. And that is it. Like, that is as much detail work as you're gonna get. It just was. If you was feeling fancy and maybe take a darker tone, maybe, what's this called, Vi, and put it on the outer, which I might do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get fancy. But honestly, most of the time it was just one shadow across the lid.
So let's just tap that there. Oh, I've got fallout.
Yes. Okay, no blending, no being fancy, no modern day trickery, nothing on the lower lash line, nothing in the crease, no mattes. Literally just like bash it on there. If you was gonna do mattes, it'd be browns and it'd be the same, but like it's the one in here. Maybe Nana or Zakaya, just like straight across the lid, and you'd be done. Okay, so next would be mascara, and it was always a nice big fat chubby mascara like this. This is the Pixie Large Lash, and it's just a case of getting this on. Again, it's not really, there wasn't really a purpose. It was just like, right, well, I've got eyeshadow on, so I might as well put a bit of mascara on. It wasn't like I want false lash effect or I want lift or anything like that. It was just make my eyelashes black. Done. Now, like I said, this is all from my personal memory. Every country has different trends, and stuff, and obviously every person does things differently no matter where in time you are. Some people don't wear makeup at all, some people wear a lot of makeup, some people think they're a clown like I do. It's completely like personal. This is just from what I remember. So that is it for the eyes. No brows. I remember in the 2000s, the very early 2000s, is when I started doing stuff with my eyebrows. I have a picture actually from when I was 16 from my prom, so 13 years ago. I think it was 2000 and... wait, let me work it out. I think it was 2008, and it's from my prom. My eyebrows are non-existent. Like, I think they're bad now, like non-existent now, but then they were completely non-existent. I will put a picture up somewhere so you can see. It is crazy. And back then I was actually filling them in with a brown eyeshadow and a little fluffy brush, almost like a liner brush, like a really tiny fluffy brush, and I would fill them in, just like going left to right with a brown eyeshadow to fill them in, because my brow hairs are naturally blonde and I've been tinting them since I was 16, 17, I think. It might have been younger. I think it was 16 or 17 I started tinting my brows so that they had pigment. They're still tinted to this day. I've had tattooing, I've had microblading. It's gone now because it doesn't last. But what I've got here is completely just down to tint. It's just tint, which it's fine. But the annoying thing is, even though what I've got here is down to tint, what grows, like what I tweeze, comes back dark. So I'm half tempted to just start shaving my brows off for a few months, and hopefully then my brow hairs will come through dark. I don't know. I'm gonna go in with my very favourite lip liner of all time. This is the NYX Urban Cafe. Lip liner was definitely a thing. You would not overline your lips, you wouldn't underline your lips either, you would just stick to your lip line, and a lot of the time it was dark lip line, a very light lipstick, and what we call now beef lips, or a clear or pink glittery gloss. So I'm going to go in with this. I'm just going to quickly line my lips. Okay, lip liner on. Now I have the choice of a really nude lipstick or a gloss. Very rarely was it both. I don't remember it ever being both actually. Okay, so I think this is the lightest nude I have at the minute. I did get rid of a bunch because they were too light. This is Wet n Wild. No. What? Oh my god. That is the second product to do that to me today. The hell? I'm just sticking it back. It's a clean floor. I'm gonna use it and then I'm gonna go and sanitize it and stuff. So it's a clean floor and it's only for my personal use. So this is Pink Sugar by Wet n Wild. I'm gonna bash this on. There's no hair on it, is there? No.
Mash your lips together.
That would honestly be as far as, well, that is the most blending we have done all day. And we are done. This is our 90s makeup look. I do not feel complete at all, which is so strange. Yeah, this is a lot of the 90s fashion. It was very fresh faced and light. I actually really am enjoying my base, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I took this base and actually this lip with a little bit more blending, and did my eyes and my brows how I normally do them, I would be so happy with the end result. Like, this base is not bad at all. It's blended, it looks nice, like it still looks like skin. You can still see my scarring and my pigmentation peeking through a little bit, but it actually just looks fresh faced, which I guess is the whole point in the 90s way of makeup. It was very just like, bash your hair in a scrunchie, stick some butterfly clips in, crimp your hair if you're feeling special, or put your hair in like 1,000 little plaits, sleep in it for a couple of days, wear it to school with your plaits in, and then the next week have crimped hair with straight edges, ends, and think that you is it. Yeah. But yeah, it was very like simple way of life in the 90s. I feel I love the 90s so much. My hair, because I've got so much of it shaved, it's shaved up to here, so I've just got like this is just like where my hair is. Literally, like, it's shaved from here up and then all the back is gone, so my hair doesn't look like much in this ponytail. But yeah, anyway, back on track. It was a very simple way of life. I love the 90s so much. I remember getting home from school and watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Simpsons, and just having the best time, playing out with my friends, not having any real sense of danger or worry, and it was just lovely. Yeah, I don't know if that was like the child's mind's eye, like, looking back, but I just remember the 90s being amazing and loving it. And I always say if I could go back in time, I would go back to the 90s. It's just a great time to be alive, for me anyway. I just think it was great. Yeah, this is it. This is my 90s makeup. I hope you liked, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you got a kick out of this, because I definitely have done. I'm gonna go for a bath in a second, and wash the 90s down the plug hole. But I love it, and maybe next week I can do a modern take on the 90s, maybe like the browns, like the neutral side. But yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you liked, I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. What is your favourite 90s TV show? I have two, Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They're just perfect 90s TV shows. They both hold a special place in my heart. So let me know what yours is, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.